welcome to the Driver Reviews channel. I'm Vicki Butler-Henderson, and today we are looking at a machine that has got no doors, no windows and no roof. Is it a car? Yes, it is. It's an Ariel Atom 4. It's a British-built two-seater that is at home on the track and the road. Prices start at £51,500, but adds some optional extras. And I'm talking machined aluminium door mirrors as opposed to fluffy carpets. Then the price rises to £87,000, which is what we have got here. Now, before you settle in and watch the full review, please press the subscribe button and the bell icon so that you are notified each time we post something new. As there is room for two, who better to share this experience with than 3 times British touring car champion and Driver Reviews ambassador, Gordon Shedden. Hello,
hey.
Gordon. Lovely to see you.
Great to see you, Vicky. How are we?
Good, thank you. What do you think about cars like this?
These cars just scream fun. In a world that's bland and vanilla and boring and you can't differentiate cars, you can definitely differentiate this, that's for sure.
Yeah, 100%. Are there any particular details that you like?
So much. Obviously, the use of carbon everywhere at the front end, lovely AP brake calipers, these Olin suspension, which is top-notch racing gear, this lovely exoskeletal chassis, and it obviously shows the strength of the car, but also uniquely with Ariel, this car's built by one person. How unique is that in today's world? And of course, at the back, that Honda turbocharged engine, that Type R engine, something which I'm very familiar with from my racing.
They have actually 2 versions of this engine. You can have 320 horsepower or the more popular 350 brake horsepower, which is the one that we've got here. But what I also love about the whole car is that everything is on display.
There's certainly no hiding for everything. It is a car of needs and a car of musts. Everything it needs, it's got, and it must be loads of fun to drive.
Yeah, and round the back actually is one of my favourite views because I love that big exhaust with the twin exits. That is, for me, is a standout feature.
Absolutely, it's on display. It shows you that this car means business for sure.
I know that Ariel customers definitely want something that's back to basics, and that you can definitely say about this car. But also handling is really important, and of course with handling it's those 4 contact patches of the tyres on the road which really then connect you to the car.
Absolutely, and I think from a driver's point of view, it's all about that connection between steering wheel and pedals and the road. And ultimately, it doesn't matter if you've got 100 horsepower or 1,000 horsepower, the only thing connecting you to the road are these wheels and tyres on the ground. And obviously with this car, sitting on the Yokohama Advan A052s, very much a track day derived tyre, just looks like it's ready for a set of tyre warmers, doesn't it?
This Atom sits on 16-inch wheels at the front and 17-inch at the back, wrapped in high-performance Yokohama Advan A052 tyres. These tyres are road-legal competition ones and are designed to excel in both wet and dry conditions, ensuring the best grip. This asymmetric pattern isn't just for show. It provides high rigidity to enhance stability and responsiveness. It also ensures every bit of power from the Atom 4 is effectively transferred to the road. Getting into one of these things is an art in itself, so I'm going to hand over to Gordon to show us how it's done.
Not sure there's an elegant way to do this, but here goes. Oh. Oh, like a glove.
Very good. Oh, jeez. Here's one I made earlier. Ta-da! Once you're inside, there is not a huge amount to see or to touch. There are no carpets, there's no glove box. It is quite sparse.
There's not much in here, is there?
No. Hang on a minute. We have got a mobile phone docking device. That's good. And some footrests.
Yeah, well, you say footrests. They are minimalist.
Yes, I totally agree. They'd be good if you had paws the size of a mouse.
There's not a lot of room in the footwell, and they're not particularly big, but are they effective? I don't really know if they need to be there.
£250 optional extra.
They don't need to be there.
You skinflint. In here, we have got a circuit lap timer with brake pressure overlay. How important would that be on a track day?
Definitely the lap timer is going to be a lot of use. got to be getting pretty technical to be looking at brake pressure overlays. But you know, it's quite a cool dash, and those shift lights are really, really effective when you're driving, because trust me, as you well know, there is no time to be looking at a rev counter. No,
without a shadow of a doubt. But I really love what they've done here. So this carbon dash, I mean, I don't even know if I should call it a dash. It's such a minimal bit of carbon fibre. So on my right, I have got the turbo controller. I've got 3 maps there for...
bit more squirt.
Aye. And then on the left, you have got this, and that controls your 7 stages of traction control. And apart from that, it's probably all you need, isn't it?
But everything at your fingertips, which again is just what Ariel have tried to do, make it for the driver, nothing for anybody else.
Yeah, exactly. Ariel definitely want to immerse you in that sort of manual experience. So, should we go and live in the analogue world for a bit?
We've got all the ingredients, let's go and have some fun.
Aye. DriverReviews partners with many of the largest tyre retailers in the world, bringing you thousands of verified and unbiased customer tyre reviews. Our independent reviews cover over 70 different tyre brands across all price ranges and feature leading brands including Goodyear, Dunlop, Michelin, Continental, Hankook and many more. So when you're searching for new tyres, look out for the DriverReviews logo to give you peace of mind that the reviews come from real customers just like you. To discover your local DriverReviews partner website and to find out the winning tyres of this year's Customer Choice Awards, visit driverreviews.com. Behind us, we've got the engine that's normally seen in a Honda Civic Type R. So it's a 2-litre 4-cylinder, and 0 to 60 miles an hour happens in how long?
It feels really lively. It has to be 0 to 60 in and around the 3 seconds mark, surely.
2.8 seconds to 60, and it will do 0 to 100 miles an hour in 6.8 seconds. And any idea on a top speed?
I have no idea, but with this little protection, I wouldn't want to be going well north of 100 miles an hour anyway.
I totally agree with you. It will do 160.
160 miles an hour, jeez.
No thanks. A road-going Honda Civic Type R takes almost twice as long to hit 60 than this. This car's superpower, 595 kilograms.
Which is for nothing.
I know, it's ridiculous. That's a quarter of the weight of a Porsche Taycan Turbo. A quarter.
Puts it in perspective, doesn't it? But it also brings it back to lightweight, and a little bit of power can mean loads of fun.
So the engine's got 3 stages of boost, and I can control them on the dash here. So number 1, it means that the engine is giving out just 220 to 230 brake horsepower, which is highly fine. Oh, you can hear the turbo working away. And then when I dial it up to 2, and then I'm going straight for 3 actually, that gives me the full 350 horsepower.
Well, there's just so much performance from the initial application of the throttle. And that change on the map is like going from fun mode to lunatic mode. It's mad.
And Gordon, if you want more, there's an Atom R with 400 brake horsepower.
Yeah, because it really feels like we need more.
Just like the engine, the gearbox is from the Civic Type R. It's a 6-speed manual. But if you do want to go even quicker and shave potentially the odd tenth or 2 off a lap time, then you can go for the 6-speed sequential box as well. I've always enjoyed the throw in the Civic because I've always found it quite precise, and it's not quite as tight as the one in the road car, but it is still good to use. You have to think about the brakes here a bit because there is no anti-lock system, no ABS here, so you have to do that with your own foot on the middle pedal to prevent you from locking up. They are big proper brakes though, no expense has been spared. They've got a 4-pot calipers AP racing system and they do work very well. Gordon, what advice would you give to people who haven't experienced a car without ABS for the first time?
Well, it's still the most effective way to stop if you can modulate it with your own foot on the pedal. That is the shortest stopping distance. Of course, even in Formula One, they don't have ABS. So ABS is a little bit of a modern cheat to be more consistent, but the optimum way of stopping is by your own right foot. So in cases like this, when you've got something as fast as this, so important that you get good brake feel, and these AP calipers are definitely needed when we're stopping from that speed.
And you've also got actually 16 full turns to go from the full front brakes all the way to the back, and you can do that on board. So you are absolutely in control of your own skidding destiny when it comes to stopping.
Definitely, and that's something that you would really change depending on weather conditions. For example, in the rain, you'd really be turning that brake balance to the back, and that's something as racing drivers we'd actually be doing during the course of a lap. So to have this adjustability in a road car, it's just mind-blowing.
So why would you put brakes to the back more in the wet?
So it's much easier to lock the front brakes in the wet conditions. So by putting more of the brake balance to the back, you're going to get all four wheels actually helping to slow you down. So it saves locking that front at the end of the braking zone and missing that apex, which is every racing driver's worst scenario.
Sage words indeed. Now, Gordon, I feel like I've been hogging the hot seat, so shall we swap?
Absolutely.
Perfect.
So the first thing you notice about this Ariel Atom is there's no power steering, so it gives you a direct link straight into these front tyres. We've got some of the best suspension in the game, made by Öhlins. It's the best thing to come out of Sweden since ABBA, but you really notice it. Similar configuration to a Formula One car, inboard suspension, push rods, and you can really feel it. It gives you such a dynamic feel, incredible grip and positivity. I can see the front tyres bouncing up and down in front of me. Bit of temperature in the tyre, and it gives us that grip. We can make the apexes, whoa! And we can really use all aspects of this Ariel Atom more. And obviously with the power that we've got, you need it to stop as well. And these AP calipers really help it. We've got everything we need to make this a pure driver's car and a delight to drive. And we'll bring this thing to a standstill. What a car, what a driver's car. That is a pure driving experience.
Totally agree with you. For me, it is the balance of everything. That's what makes a driver's car. That power to weight ratio here is so brilliant and it's so well set up. What for you are your three top ingredients then for a good driver's car?
Well, everything that a driver wants is that connection to the road and the ability that you think that you as a driver has got that ability to add something to it. The steering feel is incredible. Even though it doesn't have power steering, you know, the grip from these Yokohama Advan A052s is just incredible, and it makes you feel so connected to the road.
100% agreed. Should we have a little breather?
I think we need it after that.
What do you think about a car like this, Gordon? I mean, you come from a world of tin tops. This has got no top at all.
And it just feels so exposed. I think that's the biggest thing. It's about as close as you can get to being on a motorbike, but it really does feel like I should have a set of leathers and a helmet on, rather than being sat here in shorts, t-shirt and a baseball hat.
I know. This wind is coming through the sides, which is a really unusual sensation.
But it's still quite amazing how you can sit and you can actually look down through the pedal box and still see that suspension working. You got that connection with the road. It just feels a bit strange how close you are to the ground and how much you can stare at the ground itself.
It is so weird to look at a suspension moving like that. The only other time I really see that is on a racing car, or if I'm watching, you know, Formula One on the telly and they've got a nice close-up of any suspension, and yet here we are. I just look down and I can see it all just working.
Yeah, everything is open to the naked eye, and I guess it continues with that theme of just being a pure car. The only bits that are in here are the bits that are needed. I mean, there's not even any carpets in here, and where's the sat nav and the stereo?
I know. Well, the stereo is that behind us, and it is a lot noisier without my helmet on.
And I'm not quite sure I'm going to sit here and have a quick turbo nap when we're on the open highway. I think it might be a little bit loud for that.
It is such a weather-dependent car, though, isn't it? If we were sat here and it was drizzling down with rain, we would be having a miserable time.
I'd be very unhappy, I think.
Yeah. So pulling away from a traffic light, and I'm just doing 30 miles an hour. That turbo is noisier.
That is going to get annoying after a while. I mean, it does sound good on the track, and it does make you feel like a hero.
There is a mute button for the turbo. Well, I say mute. It's the number 2 position, so you still get 350 horsepower, but the torque is delivered in a smoother way, which could be good for wet weather.
I think you'd want all the help you can get in a car that's just under 600 kilograms. Remember, this thing's got 7 positions of traction control as well, and given how quickly it picks its heels up, I think we would maybe want a bit of that in the wet.
Oh, I'm not as buffeted in my face as I thought I would be. These little perspex things are doing quite a good job.
I do find myself sitting lower and lower and lower to get a little bit more help from these perspex screens though.
So we've softened up the whole suspension for on-road, just so that we are a little bit more comfortable, shall we say.
And it really needs it, you know, with this push rod suspension configuration, you know, it's very much set up for the track, but Öhlins are some of the best in the business for suspension. That is what you want on the car. And they've just been able to make a few clicks on the suspension. It's taken them seconds to adjust that suspension, both in bump and rebounds, and actually make it quite pliable on the roads.
Oh, pint.
A pint?
Yeah.
Of what?
Moo juice.
Milk. I was saying it's a little bit early for anything else. Right, you wanted milk. I've got your milk. Where are you planning to put it?
There's a little space under the nose, if you could kindly open her up.
You're clutching at straws now. It is a little bit of storage.
And do you know what I like more than milk? Milkshake. Hop on in.
Full of demands, you today, aren't you?
It seems bonkers to buy, let alone make, something that will guarantee you are dripping wet when you arrive at your destination when it rains. But no matter what the weather, and today we have been blessed, I can guarantee that this will be one of the most fun machines you have ever driven on the road. But Gordon, what do you think?
For me, the one word that describes this car is pure, because it is a back to basics, all action driving machine and so engaging from a driving point of view. There really is nothing extra on this car, it's only what you need. There's no anti-lock braking system, there's no power steering. Okay, there's a little bit of traction control, but obviously we don't want that anyway. But what a car, and what bang for your buck. I think to drive this car in a track day environment or on track is going to be fantastic. It's not going to be heavy on tyres, it's not going to be heavy on brakes, and the fun and the thrill factor is going to be off the scale. In terms of the driving on the road bit though, yeah, I could give or take that bit. I'd be more than happy if it turned up in a trailer.
You are such a racing driver. Thank you so much for watching Driver Reviews. Please let us know your thoughts on the Atom in the comments section below, and please press subscribe and the bell icon so that you are notified each time we post something new.